Hello, everyone. Welcome to DJB Entertainment. Before we start with the book review, I kind of want to explain what I'm about and who I am. My name is Dylan Brown, and I'm hoping to make videos regarding storytelling mostly, and how they affect my life and how well they're orchestrated in books or movies or even games. Another thing about me is that I am a inspired writer. I'm not a published author yet. I've been working on a book for about 10 years now, and I'm getting pretty close to where I want to be at to publish it. And I also plan on going through my writer's journey along with that in my videos, and hopefully even going some tutorial videos on what I've learned and picked up while writing, and be able to show you some of those things. And I'm still new at YouTube and figuring out the different things that I need to do to make videos and different ideas, even talking on a camera. So if you guys have any pointers or any things that I could do better, let me know. I'm hoping I can try to create an organic community, one that's real, one that's not really scripted a whole lot. I might make when I make my book reviews, I do type out my thoughts so I have them all lined up, and I do read from that script. But regarding everything else, videos to come regarding tutorials on what I've picked up when it comes to writing, that'll be more organic. And there's a lot of things I like to show people that I have found that might be able to help them. But with all that to the side, I hope you guys enjoy the book review, and please leave me a like, comment, and possibly subscribe. Thank you. Today we're talking about one of my favorite Halo novels, Halo: The Flood by William C. Dietz. With Halo campaign Evolve coming around the corner, I thought now would be the perfect time to revisit this book and share my thoughts on it. Now for those who don't know, Halo: The Flood is essentially a novelization of the events from the first Halo game. And I know what some of you may be thinking, why would I read a book that just retells the game? Honestly, I wondered the same thing before reading it. But after finishing the novel, I can confidently say that Halo: The Flood is much more than just a retelling of Combat Evolved. Yes, you follow the Master Chief through the major events of the game. You experience the Pillar of Autumn, Crash, the discovery of Halo, the battles against the Covenant, and eventually the release of the Flood. But what makes this book special is everything that happens around those events. One of the biggest strengths of the novel is that it expands the story beyond Chief. We get entire storylines focused on the ODSTs, Marines, fighting for survival across the ring. These sections add a ton of depth to the conflict and show just how desperate the situation really is. We also get to spend more time with Captain Keyes. In the game, Keyes is an important character, but we don't get a lot of time inside his head. The novel gives us a much deeper look at his leadership, his decisions, and struggles as the situation continues to spiral out of control. These additions make Halo feel much bigger than it ever did in the game. Another thing I absolutely loved was the Covenant's perspective. The novel follows an Elite and a Grunt who are hunting Master Chief throughout the story. What's really cool is that if you've only played the game, you probably encountered this Elite multiple times without ever realizing it. The book quietly weaves the storyline throughout the narrative, giving certain encounters much more meaning once you understand what's really happening behind the scenes. It was one of my favorite parts of the entire novel. Now, I do think the weakest aspect of this book is actually Master Chief's sections. And I don't necessarily mean that as a criticism. The author made an interesting choice. Chief's story is written almost exactly how many players experience the game. He moves from objective to objective, completes mission, fights enemies, pushes forward toward the next goal. In a way, it's actually impressive the author somehow managed to capture the feeling of playing Halo Combat Evolved in book form. The downside is that some of these sections can feel a little mechanical. At times, it almost feels like you're reading a game script rather than a traditional novel. Again, I understand why it was written that way, but compared to the ODST, Marine, Covenant, and Keys chapters, Chief sections were definitely the least interesting for me. Now let's talk about the Flood. This is where the book really shines. The Flood were already terrifying in the game, but the novel takes that horror to another level. Because we're inside the heads of the Marines and soldiers, we get to experience their fear firsthand. We hear their thoughts. We see their panic. We watch them slowly realize what they're up against. And in some cases, we witness the horrifying moments when they're infected. The game shows us that the Flood are dangerous. The book makes us understand why they're terrifying. These sections were some of the most memorable moments in the entire novel and added a genuine horror element that the game could only hint at. Overall, I had an absolute blast reading Halo the Flood. In fact, I read the entire book in a single sitting because I just didn't want to put it down. As someone who had already played Halo Combat Evolved multiple times, I love seeing all the extra lore, the expanded character perspectives, and the behind-the-scenes events that were happening while Chief was carrying out his missions. Does the book have flaws? Absolutely. Some of the Master Chief sections can feel repetitive and mechanical, but the expanded storylines involving the Marines, ODSTs, Covenant, Captain Keys, and the Flood more than make up for those weaknesses. At the end of the day, Halo the Flood takes a story I already love and makes the world feel larger, darker, and more alive. For me, that's exactly what a good video game adaptation should do. My final score for the Flood is an 8 out of 10. If you're a Halo fan and you never read this book, I highly recommend giving it a chance. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Halo the Flood and where you would rank it among the Halo novels. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time here on DJB Entertainment.